All right, we got entertainment news from The Hollywood Reporter. Multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 is not moving forward and is considered dead in its current incarnation. Sources say that Jenkins recently submitted her treatment co-written by Jeff Johns, and that Gunn and Safran, as well as Warner Brothers Pictures co-chairs and co-CEOs Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi, broke the news to the filmmaker, telling her the project, as it stood, did not fit in with the new but still unfolding plans.
The DCEU is dead. Long live DC Studios. I saw this pop up. What was this? No, this was last night. I think.
Yeah.
I was doing a rundown with Sarah Catherine the Red, and then you were all like, "Hey, babe, look at that," and I was like, "Yeah, she's on my list." Like, no, read it. No, oh, damn it.
I know.
Yeah. I didn't say anything about Gal Gadot being on the list. Anyway, so let me start with you, babe. When you saw that news, what did you think about the whole thing happening here with the DC?
That's disappointing. I mean, I know the second one wasn't as well received or whatever as the first.
It's trash.
But I still think it was a good, franchise or whatever, and that they could have made improvements to return the third back to more like what the first one was.
Which is what I'm hoping. That's what we thought that Jenkins was going to have a chance to do. But now it's all gone. It's over. Now there's one person on the panel that was like acting like she was totally crushed because she auditioned to be in the third Wonder Woman movie. She was going to be one of the Amazons. She was going to be in the back that was Tab was going to be in the back of Wonder Woman like this.
I wish.
Like doing like that.
Hell yeah.
That's like whenever she was going to be an extra.
All about it.
If it would have been me, I'd have just been in the background just walking by just from the left of the screen to the left.
Can you imagine being surrounded by all them Amazons?
I mean,
I am
that's
for
les
it.
business. That's les business right there.
For it. Let me be in the background, please.
But when you heard the news, what did you think?
I was sad.
That
For me.
or Kardashian impersonation right there.
Oh my God.
I feel like for me, like look how quickly she made it about herself.
For
like
me.
Gal Gadot just lost her role, and Patty Jenkins is no longer going to be on it. But then Tabitha's like, I feel like for me.
So I feel like for me, I'm a little sad that there's not going to be this specific franchise just because of what it represents and bringing it to little girls again and creating that love for it.
Mm-hmm.
They have given so many other movies that, in my opinion, are way worse than Wonder Woman's movies, more chances to survive a franchise than they're giving this franchise, in my opinion. So it was a little frustrating for me with that because I was like, they've not given it enough, in my humbled opinion, for them to just cancel it like this, dash its dreams.
They've made all these switch ups, so I can only hope that this is just their initial, basically everything as it stands right now for everybody is we're just trashing all of it and we're starting over from scratch.
Yeah.
So hopefully I hope they find a place for Wonder Woman. They just, what was written is not what they wanted, and they really want to start over with.
See, but they're they're posing as if they're not going to start over at all. They're posing it as if it's not really an option, which has got me worried. I'm crossing that is not the case, because even if it's them redoing the idea of what they think Wonder Woman is and, the concept of her story, if they're going to take it to another level or a different way, that's great. That's fine. I do hope that they just continue to have that sort of role model or that sort of presence for little girls.
I say it really kind of sucks because you ditched Batwoman girl, whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get into that a little later.
Now
too.
you're ditching Wonder Woman.
I know, I
just
just-
kicking all the women to the curb. But Ezra, we're just like,
Oh yeah,
let's keep going forward. He's trash, but keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I put on a list. So I'm trying to find my list right here and run down the some of the reasons that, some of the things that we're not going to see, some of the things that we are going to see. So that news came out on the Hollywood Reporter that Patty Jenkins submitted her script for Wonder Woman 3, and the new boss of DC Studios and James Gunn and his partner Peter Safran are like, this no longer fits with what we're going to do. But thank you. Sorry, Gal, you're not going to get your 20 million. Patty, you're not going to get your 12. But this is what Warner Brothers wanted. They wanted a studio head to make these tough decisions and clean up the mess that the previous powers that be made and all that stuff. And it sucks, but I have a list of things that I think I want to say, it's a listing of grievances that I wanted to share.
God.
Like,
Did you just go full nerd on us?
this is a Festivus kind of a thing. So here's what, starting off with Ezra Miller,
Yes.
when they were doing all of that drama with and then the company that, the previous owners of Warner Brothers, it kept ignoring it. If they would have just made an announcement, fired them on day one, I feel that the domino effects, all this other stuff wouldn't even be necessary. But they did what they did. They ignored it, and then the new owners, Discovery, had to deal with it. But to me, it's funny that the new owner didn't take care of it himself either. He waited to hire James Gunn and Peter Safran to take over DC Studios and I want you to take care of it.
Yeah.
And then now, to me, everything always falls back on, like, if they would have just handled the Ezra Miller thing earlier, I feel like all this is a domino effect on that. Number 2 on my list, Wonder Woman 84. It was not good. But I would think that because Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman, was just, you did one that was great, you did one that wasn't so great, now you got to have a third chance to make it better, the course correct.
I didn't hate it. Everyone else talks about how they hated this movie. I did not hate it.
Well, I had COVID when I watched it.
I didn't hate it.
I hated that.
I didn't like
actually-
it as much as the first, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the movie. Like, I wasn't like, this is a horrible movie, I can't stand this. Like, I actually enjoyed watching the movie, and I hear nothing but bad people talking bad about it. But
Because I don't condone the spirit of her ex-boyfriend taking over the body of a guy who was not a participating, willing partner to all the things that she did to him.
I think he consented.
I don't think so.
I think he consented.
I think that was a problem.
I think he
No,
consented.
that just to me, I feel like for me that the script just wasn't as. It's just in comparison to the first one. It just wasn't. It wasn't that.
I mean, I can give you the first one's better. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I can give you that. I
whole-
enjoyed the movie. And
Yeah.
so for me, I didn't think that Wonder Woman 84 was like bad. It wasn't as good as the first, maybe.
Which could also be translated to being bad. But I only watched it once
kept it.
through COVID eyes.
Okay,
Well, and we didn't really get to see what would have happened because it was released on TV at the same time
Yeah.
as the
Which was
movie
one
theater,
of
and it
those
was
decisions.
still nobody was going to the movies, so it's like you're not really
Yeah.
going to get all the.
Which is why I wanted Patty Jenkins to have a chance to knock it out. And I
Yeah.
feel like, because after she was going to be on a Star Wars project and that got scrapped, we're moving forward with one. Gal Gadot just recently was on Twitter announcing that she can't wait to do the role again. And then 2 days later, what do they call it? The axe of Zaslav struck through the bullets of Gunn. And it was like, have you ever been fired from a position, from a job where they want to be cowards and not tell you that you're fired? They just want to say something slick like, your position is no longer here. Well, actually, the position is, you just won't be. That little sneaky BS. Or you know how Tabitha does this all the time. Once, like when I used to work at the racetrack part time, she said, "Chris, I'm firing you, but if you can tell me why I'm firing you, you can keep your job." I'm like, was it the money I took out of the till? Yes, you're fired. Get out. Yeah, I fell for it. That's one of the things that Tabitha does. She plays that good cop, bad cop thing, and she's both. And somehow you get arrested
I
just
mean,
for taking a couple bucks out of the till.
a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
Amber Heard, that drama that went on with all that, you
God.
know, after with this upcoming Aquaman movie that's about to come out, I thought we were finally getting past it, and then she's appealing the decision. Like it's like, look, all this stuff, one of these things we could ignore. We did it with Ezra, but all of this happened. We can't have all this stuff flaring up again like
No.
herpes. Like we can't. So. There's disassociation from that. Next on my list, Geeks and Gamers. That other channel that's out there. You know those guys. You know the Fandom Menace guys with the release the Snyder Cut and everything is woke and all those guys. Those assholes. Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like we don't want to deal with those guys anymore. I just feel like Warner Brothers, like, we're done with all this. So yeah, I put them on my list. Man of Steel 2, Henry Cavill. That was the saddest part for me because he just recently was all like, I'm back as Superman. And James Gunn was like, yeah. No.
Don't even get me started on that because I have such a.
I just quit The Witcher.
I know, and I am still pissed about that. So the fact that now we don't even have this as the excuse for him quitting The Witcher.
Nobody told you to quit, Henry. Why?
Like,
we didn't tell you to do that.
I'm so angry.
And now Jordan's all like, now I get no Henry Cavill.
I know. I was fine with that, him leaving The Witcher, only because we were still gonna get him in this, and now we don't get him in this.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
So yeah, thanks Ezra for all that. Like I said, it wasn't just one thing, but I feel like Warner Brothers kept the one up. That's why I put him at the top of the list because I feel like if they didn't ignore what was going on with Ezra so much that all that domino effect, I feel like all the things on this list would not have been affected. But I think they just used up all their grace for all that. So I put Man of Steel to Henry Cavill. The announcement, Henry Cavill's cameo in The Flash. He filmed a cameo.
They're taking that away too?
They're taking that out of the upcoming Flash movie. The Batgirl movie. They just had a meeting with those directors. They just had a meeting yesterday with James Gunn, and we all thought it was about, hey, we're sorry that your movie got canceled but we still want to work with you and we want to do another project with you. And now it turns out maybe that meeting was about your shit is never coming out, but we can get you to do something else in the DC studio. But the DCEU, that is no longer a thing. So I wonder what that damn meeting was about. After that, what was that? What I had? Black Adam. They didn't make the money that they wanted it to make. Shazam is about to come out, but the whole the dream of Shazam meeting Black Adam and fighting Superman and all that stuff, gone. It's all gone. You know what's not going to be gone? Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 2. That is still a thing.
Why?
James Gunn isn't going to let his project go away. That's his. It's under the James Gunn protection. Do you agree or do you disagree with this decision? Tabs. Did you watch Peacemaker? What?
So I really have no tie to it.
It's the best thing on HBO Max.
I still would rather have Henry over it.
He was kind of in it, but he was like a floating shadowy figure in the background that Peacemaker was like, fuck you. Well, I just did all the work and you guys just now showing up. But Aquaman and Ezra Miller, they were there. And that was the whole, thing about, what was that Peacemaker said to him? Like the whole rumor about you sleeping with fish. And then Jason Momoa was like, that's just a rumor. And then Ezra Miller was like, no, it's not. And then Jason Momoa was like, fuck you, Barry. That's why you have to watch Peacemaker. They said it. He's fuck you, Barry. So, but the reason why I feel like Peacemaker is fine because those were just little cameos, and you can retcon that out of it. I mean, Peacemaker can move forward. Viola Davis was also in that season, but if they reboot the DCEU, Viola Davis's character is gone as well. But spoiler alert, her daughter is in Peacemaker. She could become the new. What is the character name that she plays? Viola Davis plays Amanda Waller. she could become the new Amanda Waller for the DCEU moving forward. They already introduced her daughter in Peacemaker. I think if they get rid of Viola Davis, they already got another actress that's her. I think she's about to become the new Amanda Waller. Now I know this doesn't make any sense because you didn't watch Peacemaker. So, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, the Batman 2, the Joker 2, and the Penguin series are also safe because they're not a part of the DCEU. So moving forward, those are going to be fine. Anywho, James Gunn later. He made some comments about this whole thing, and he said, James Gunn's response was, what was his response? Was, so, as for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true, and some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Gunn wrote that on Twitter.
It's like the most politically correct statement I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yes. As a studio executive should. James Gunn is known for being very blunt and straightforward on Twitter, but this time he had to put his executive producer hat on. He's like, look, Henry Cavill should not have put his 2 weeks notice in so fast.
I'm so mad about it.
James Gunn was like, I did not tell him to do that. We were all those talks about a Black Superman movie coming out and stuff, all that's gone. But here's the thing.
So mad about this.
DC honestly, Warner Brothers just wanted to disassociate themselves from all of those negative things, and the fastest way to do that is just starting over, rebooting. Any ideas of if it's not Henry Cavill, who do you have on your short list for Superman?
Oh God.
Nobody.
Nope, I haven't even thought about anybody else as Superman. That's the thing.
Nobody was gonna tell me that I had pizza crust on my face.
People will
No.
revolt. Like,
No, they won't.
Oh, my God.
They were still mad about Man of Steel. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Superman killed, and that was part of the reason why that wasn't Man of Steel.
Henry Cavill.
They loved Henry Cavill after he proved that he didn't need Superman. He became The Witcher. He did all those other movies and stuff like that.
good.
When it's what have you done for me lately syndrome. It's like, oh, I love that Star Wars movie. Then the next one comes out. Oh, this is trash. Then the third one comes out. And then you're like, that second one wasn't really that bad in comparison to this stuff. But the second you get some distance, now all of a sudden it's like, he's the worst Superman ever because Superman killed. He's like, all right, I'm not playing him no more. Oh, no, Henry, come back. Oh, I don't like that.
See, but I never said any of that crap. So
Yeah.
I was a lover of him from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because he's a sexy beast. And I'm still pissed about this.
I'm
If
just
I-
saying.
If I'm not going to get him as The Witcher, I need him as Man of Steel. And now I'm just pissed. There's so much.
There's too much going on. So
There's so much.
I'm just saying, if it's not Henry,
I just don't know who I can't even, because my brain hasn't really computed him not being Superman. I can't even put another person in the role right now. So that's wholeheartedly where I'm at.
people were talking about they should get Tom Welling from Smallville. Maybe they can bring him. No, he's not. That's never happening.
That's, yeah. I mean, he already played Superman. The
Brandon
series.
Routh from Superman Returns. Bring him back. That's who was. Henry Cavill and Brandon Routh were both on the short list for that Superman Returns movie.
Mhm.
Brandon Routh won, and
I don't think I'm about that.
then they made Henry Cavill the Man of Steel.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think I agree with that.
I don't agree. It's gonna be a whole brand new slate.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a new Wonder Woman.
I can't even think of like a young like celebrity right now that, you know, would be fit for that. Like I can't even
Right.
get my head put into where I would put anybody that's out there right now that I would put into that role.
Well, maybe that's the part that's not true that that James Gunn was tweeting about. That
Yeah.
some of it's true, some of it's not. I know you guys put it in the comments what you got. Who's on your short list? When I get to the comments later, I'm gonna run down
yeah,
all
I'm
those.
curious what
I want
they're
to see
thinking.
who would you have as Wonder Woman? Some young guy. Come on, Tabs. I know you got a short list for Wonder Woman.
I love her though. Like she is a really great Wonder Woman to me. Just
She was a great Wonder Woman, but her other movies that she's.
I don't fucking care about her
I
other
mean,
movies.
she-
I care about her and her role as this. She to me is that she just fits the role so freaking well.
Yeah.
She really does.
So, who's going to replace Jason Momoa, babe? What do you think? Jason Momoa. Who's going to be our new Aquaman? Who would you want?
Oh man, that's another tough one.
Who's going to be our new Batman?
Ugh.
That's the one.
That's the one you care about.
No, seriously, no, I don't care. I just
Liar,
don't want
you went to
a
Occupier.
13-year-old Robin or nothing like that. That's all.
Yeah.
Cyborg. I feel like Ray Fisher, all that drama that he had on set making Justice League. I still feel like he was ignored, and then they ignored all that. I'm telling you, all that stuff that went. It wasn't just one thing. Warner Brothers was like the previous owners left us this mess. I've already gotten too much shit for canceling the Batgirl movie. James, I need you to take this hit for me, please. Tell them that their services are no longer needed, and let's just move on. And that's what James did. James was like, all right, boss, I got you. After the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie is done, I'm firing all of the DC. And the Marvel conspiracies will continue.
Guys, that's the end of this episode of The Rundown. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. If you would like to watch more from us from T3 Media Studio, click here or here. Thanks for watching. Stop being NC-17.
From those geeks and gamers, and they're like, everything's so woke, and they're like, well, at least we're not going to get those black Supermen anymore. Well, I'm here.